You think I forgot about you? I didn't forget about you. It's been crazy. I was making some chili this morning. Without a cumin. Had to go all mad alchemist and add coriander. I'm just saying. But anyway, we're talking about the Barbarian today. And like the core classes, you don't have to require any ability requirements. Barbarian, you need a 13 con, 13 strength. You've got to have rolled good to play a barb. D10 hit points, just like the old fighter. If you use prime requisite, strength and con, naturally. Hardy northern warriors, blah, blah, blah. So it's your atypical barbarian tribe. And the role is a savage frontline fighter. Simple. Gotta be chaotic, though. Can't be lawful. Gots to be chaotic. Their base attack bonus is just like the fighter, though. So it goes up to +8. And they can use any weapon, but they're limited to leather, stud leather, chain, and shield. They get a few powers, but if you use chainmail, you lose some of your abilities while you're wearing the armor. Totem animal. You gotta pick a totem animal. If you want to be Clan of the Cave Bear or Pig Boy, knock it out. That parallels a lot of fiction and a lot of real life tribes and stuff. But you can play with that. It's a fantasy game. Has to be an apex predator. You could have a Clan of the Owlbear, I guess. Where beaks, owls, and claws. Didn't seem silly. Their Berserk Rage is simply +1 to hit, +2 to damage, just like the monster Berserker. And it lasts D8 rounds, +1 round per level. You get 3 hit points per level. So the higher level you are, the more you get hit points. So you Hulk out, basically, and you take a -2 AC penalty. And for D3 hours after your rage subsides, you have -1 to hit. You can fight to -1, but you die at the end of the turn. When you come out, if you're at 0 or less, you're dead. It doesn't reference using the optional death and dying rule. I might make that a penalty. That dodging death is probably just for everyone else who's not in a rage. That's probably a conversation at your table. They can be taunted into their rage, so you have a disability. You got a little negative. You gotta taunt. You gotta make a successful int check to resist taunting and going into your rage, unless you've already used your rage. They do get some thief abilities. I think that's been a cliche in a lot of stuff, where they get move silent, climb walls, and hear noise as a thief of the same level, and you lose your move silent and climb walls if you're wearing chain. But if you're in leather or studded leather, you can shimmy right up the walls and skulk around. Indoor, outdoor. Makes more sense outdoor for a barbarian, but indoor would work. Can never have hirelings or retainers. Never. Do it yourself. Mr. DIY guy. Retainers are for pussies. Magic scorn. Barbarians who trust magic, openly scorn magic users, but revere druids and shaman. Barbarians refuse to use miscellaneous magic items until level 3. Doesn't say you don't use swords, armor, and stuff like that at lower levels. Technically, potions, miscellaneous magic item. So you won't be drinking none of that magic go-go juice. But pick up a shiny sword. It might be enchanted. I don't care. I'm using it to beat people over the head with. It's a fair compromise. A lot of players always try to get around that anyway. What sorcery is this? A barbarian has a 4% passive and 8% active chance per level of seeing through illusions or phantasms. So there's a passive ability. They may not even like. That's not right. They distrust magic, and they're so in tune with the world. It's a bit of a leap, but it's a neat ability. Cry Havoc, and if you got a bunch of barbarians, that die roll for their rage goes up. So the more barbarians in a group, the longer they rage. Goes up to D12, and then each after adds a +2. +2. So if you got 6 barbarians, that would be like D12 +6. rounds raged. It's pretty rough. Single-minded. Any act, spell-like activity, or magic item that confuses, weakens, or induces fear is 50% unlikely to affect them. That's pretty good. I'm just too savage for charm person or emotion to work on me. That's a neat little perk. Not much different than being immune to sleep and charm, save for an elf. So not game-breaking. Coward sense, an 8% chance per level of detecting a backstab or an attack from behind. I think I should have an Earth Canna. I can dig that. And then saving throw bonus. Now this one is kind of strange. You basically get the demi-human bonuses versus spells as a human. Which I know a lot of players would be like, yeah, I always play dwarves, but only humans can be barbarians. I'm playing a human dwarf barbarian. And that's how people play. A lot of people play barbarians as chaotic versions of dwarves with beards. I find it's not a bad deal. If you have players who have a penchant to play chaotic characters anyway, it might be a whole lot of fun. The armor restriction is going to turn off your min-max, your munchkin, or someone who's just going for maximum effect for their character. The fighter is more well-rounded. XP-wise, they are less XP. It's a full 1,000 more starting out for a barbarian. That's a lot for low level. But if you're wanting a good old-fashioned hack and slasher, I mean, it'll be fun. Everybody gets in the mood to play a barbarian once in a while. After 3rd level, you really can use magic as you see fit. It depends how much they're going to play up the distrust of magic. You might use it, you might not trust it, still might use it. Especially a big old flaming blade. You never know. Depends on the int of your barbarian too, I guess. Intelligent barbarians are kind of fun to play and can be very, very off-putting for people who got preconceptions about barbaric cultures. But yeah, I dig it. So far, we're having fun with the game. Tomorrow, I'll get around to talking about Geopaladin. Alright? But the Barbarian is pretty much run-of-the-mill for any version of a Barbarian. There's not a lot of huge changes out there for some of these classes. The ones they have are neat, not game-breaking. I'm seeing some 3E elements in here that my players like. I'm not too big fond of, but the game combat runs pretty smooth so far. We'll see how the Mega Dungeon crawling, because it's more designed for a Mega Dungeon role with the Bind Wounds ability that I went over. I should do a whole thing on death, dying, and healing as a whole big thing for Dragonslayer. I'll do that after I get all the classes done, or if I just get bored and decide to do it. You know? You never know. Unpredictable. Maybe I got the chaotic alignments. Barbarians, let's rage, brothers!